The influence of Marlowe in the three parts of Henry VI was recognized early on. In 1885, Arthur Wilson Verity wrote,
"Among the plays assigned to Shakespeare there are 4, of which it is practically certain that Marlowe was a part author. They are, of course, Henry VI, Part 1, 2, and 3, and Titus Andronicus."
Part 1 of the play Henry VI cannot have been known to contemporaries as a drama by Shakespeare. It was first printed in the first folio and can therefore only have been associated with Shakespeare's name long after his death. It is of some importance that in 2016, the editors of the new Oxford project, led by Professor Gary Taylor, concluded that Marlowe had a hand in writing these Henry VI plays based on patterns in vocabulary, phrasing, and other stylistic elements. Let's read, reflect, and listen to some selected text parallels taken from Calvin Hoffman's groundbreaking book, 1955, supporting the idea that Marlowe was the author of Henry VI plus Richard III. A short recap: the York or First Tetralogy, Yellow Colour, consists of 4 history plays by Shakespeare, Henry VI, Part 1, 2, and 3, and Richard III. Richard II is part of a different sequence of Shakespeare history plays known as the Henriad or the Second Tetralogy, Red Colour, which includes Richard II, Henry IV, Part 1 and 2, and Henry V.
These arms of mine shall be thy sepulchre.
These arms of mine shall be the winding sheet. My heart's sweet boy shall be the sepulchre.
Holla, ye pampered jades of Asia, what can ye draw but 20 miles a day?
And hollow pampered jades of Asia, which cannot go but 30 miles a day.
How now? Why droops the earl?
Why droops my lord like over-ripened corn?
Rain showers of vengeance on my cursed head.
Throw in the frozen bosoms of your part hot coals of vengeance.
You stars that reigned at my nativity.
At my nativity, the front of heaven was full of fiery shapes.
And since this earth dimmed with thy Brinish tears,
to hear and see her plaints, her Brinish tears,
the haughty Dane commands the narrow street.
Stern Falconbridge commands the narrow sea.
Inhuman creatures nursed with tiger's milk.
O tiger's heart wrapped in a woman's hide.
Go thou frowning forth, but come thou smiling home. And thus he goes, as did Paris with the Grecian dame.
And thus he goes, as did the youthful Paris once, to Greece.
And sorrow stops the passage of my speech.
My father's blood hath stopped, where thy words should enter.
There's none here but would run his horse to death.
That beggars mounted run their horse to death. When the lion fawns upon the man,
shaking her silver tresses in the air,
brandish your crystal tresses in the sky.
Black is the beauty of the brightest day.
Hung be the heavens, with black yield day to night.
In civil broils make kin and countrymen.
Prosper his realm, keep it from civic broils.
Or, if I live, let me forget myself.
Or, that I could forget what I have been, or not remember what I must be now.
My lord, call me not lord, away, out of my sight.
My lord, no lord of thine, thou hot insulting man.
Who's there? Convey this priest to the tower.
Go, some of you, convey him to the tower. Oh, good, convey. Conveyors are you all.
King Edward about his deposition. Must. It is somewhat hard when king must go.
King Richard about his deposition. What must the king do now? Must he submit? Must he be deposed?
Shape we our course to Ireland, there to breath.
Tomorrow next we will for Ireland, and 'tis time, I trow.
Feared am I more than loved, let me be feared.
To monarchize, be feared, and kill with looks.
Was this the face that launched 1,000 ships?
Was this the face that faced so many follies? Was this the face that every day under his? Was this the face that, like the sun,
mingled with coral and with orient pearls?
shall come, again transformed to orient pearls?
For there sits death, there sits imperious death, keeping his circuit by the slicing edge.
Keeps death his court, and there the antic sits.
Until my soul, dissevered from this flesh, shall mount the milk-white way.
Mount, mount, my soul, thy seat is up on high, whilst my gross flesh
sits wringing of her hands and beats her breast.
Why do you wring your hands and beat your breast?
And tigers of Hyrcania gave the suck.
Oh, 10 times more than tigers of Hyrcania.
To move unto the measure of delight.
My legs can keep no measure with delight.
For his oaths are seldom spent in vain.
When words are scarce, they are seldom spent in vain. These astonishing text parallels strongly support the assumption that Marlowe must have been the author of the York Tetralogy. It makes no sense whatsoever to separate these intrinsically related historical plays, the first York Tetralogy from the second Henriad Tetralogy, and attributing them to William Shakespeare from Stratford. One should ponder why numerous earlier written opinions of highly educated specialists about Shakespeare, Marlowe, and the history plays have been completely forgotten, neglected, denied, or outright rejected today. Let's exemplary listen to the opinion of James Spedding, Tucker Brooke, and Leslie Rouse. Richard III of the First Folio contains not only conspicuous additions compared to the early quarto editions, Q1 1597, but also a large number of meticulous improvements in metrics and language, which must have been the result of careful revisions. James Spedding, British author and editor, early Baconian, attempted to prove that these changes could only have been made by the poet himself. According to Professor Tucker Brooke, the true tragedy Henry VI No. 3, which was performed in 1592 without naming an author, was definitely written by Marlowe, due to the massive textual parallels to other plays of Marlowe. 30 years later, 2/3 of all lines were taken over, unchanged in the First Folio. Who other than Marlowe took the responsibility for publishing this revised play in 1623 under the new name The Third Part of King Henry VI? Alfred Leslie Rouse, a British historian and writer, justified the statement that the first Henry VI play must be Shakespeare's first drama when writing,
This is almost certainly Shakespeare's first play, the dominant influence observable again and again in Henry VI's Marlowe's. He patented this grandiloquent poetic diction in spended blank verse, in Tamburlaine. Marlowe was the senior, initiator, the leader. Before he died, he copied from Henry VI and wrote Edward II.
A personal conclusion. The striking textual parallels between Marlowe's and Shakespeare's works, along with the well-researched opinions of highly educated Arthur Verity, James Spedding, Tucker Brooke, and Leslie Rouse, shown in this video, should at least make you begin to question the doubtful authorship of William from Stratford.